Right along Gear 5, yeah.
Yeah, and then after he's like fully realizing what's going on, he hockey blast like full white, like everything just like comes out, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know how that would happen in this like what's going to happen in this one, but um I think when it comes to that, I think law like it. So the community has a take on Luffy having eternal life, and my take on that theory would be the only way that that would be possible is if Law would have had to remove his heart and to perform the surgery, but and going to place the heart back inside of Luffy is when Luffy's devil fruit like awakens, not awakens, but like takes shape of his heart instead. So Law seeing that and seeing that Luffy's heart is still beating in his hand. And his heart is also beating in his chest. Also, another thing, because we cannot forget what just happened at Marineford. This motherfucker Whitebeard took how much damage? And he was standing. That nigga died standing up. Okay, and then I think the only reason why Blackbeard was able to get to capture his devil fruit is because he went in there and extracted it before Blackbeard died, or before Whitebeard died. In his like his last moments of life, his heart is still beating. He goes in there, takes the shit, consumes it, whatever, gets the devil fruit. Fast forward to Luffy, because this just happens all in the same section, right? Like it's all happening in the same arc. Law would have repaired Luffy's heart. In his final moments of life, his devil fruit would have saved him. So Law potentially would still have Luffy's heart without Luffy knowing. The way that that could also make sense is we've seen other. Well, also at this time, Law is known as a pirate who's captured the hearts of 100 pirates, and these pirates are alive on Pirate Island, waiting, essentially. But on Punk Hazard, um, Law takes the heart of Caesar. He takes the heart of Smoker, and these people are still able to like walk around, fight people, and even use their devil fruit powers. Right? Why couldn't Luffy do the same shit? We also okay. I know I'm rambling, but we also know that Luffy or Law met Luffy before Marineford. He met him on Sabaody. He's seen Luffy punch the Celestial Dragon, so he knows what type of business Luffy stands on.
Me personally, it's like I see where you're coming from, but it's like when you think about it, it's like why would Law keep his heart? You know what I mean? And then it's like I feel what you're saying about him giving him eternal life, but isn't that a dangerous procedure? Isn't there a reason why Law doesn't do it? I was saying, I feel like if Law were to give him eternal life, then he'd have to really like see something in Luffy. Like he's seen him with the Conqueror's Haki and Marineford, so he knows that he has that strength. You know what I mean? He knows, so it makes sense. He drafted him on Punk Hazard to go and fight Doflamingo because he knew that with his power he would actually stand a chance against Doflamingo. But besides, up to the point with Wano and everything, does he truly know like Nika, and does he really know like Luffy could really be like the Sun God? So that's where it's like a little bit shaky. Because in my head, I'm thinking to myself like, Law has always been like a very meticulous man. He's always been like 2 steps ahead. He made himself a warlord off the taking parts. So you know he's been thinking way steps ahead. You know he plotted everything down to the wire.
I don't think so. And I know the whole procedure of the eternal life thing. Like, let's say he were to give it to Luffy. I know I said it somewhere in the manga that Law would have to die for that. So, yeah, don't get me wrong, I see it, but I think Law would have to be like in an intense situation where he knows he's gonna die. So he like in his mind and be like, oh, I know I'm gonna die. So let me make sure that whatever I have planned will actually go through and trust in like someone like Luffy and be like, okay, let
So
me give you the eternal life thing.
I don't think, me personally, I don't think that Law knew about the spell or how to do it. I think he was just merely trying to save Luffy's life. And with him trying to do that, his devil fruit stepped in. Like Luffy's devil fruit stepped in to save him. Also, Law had a life-threatening disease before he ate his devil fruit. And that saved his life. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. I do kind of, I do agree with y'all. Like, it don't make sense, like, how Law would have, like, a lot of knowledge on, like, the awakening process and, like, shit like that. Or even, if Luffy could be Nika. I just think, I think Law put faith in Luffy, during Marineford when he seen him punch the Celestial. Doflamingo's also a Celestial Dragon. Luffy ain't afraid to step to nobody. So, like, I think Law was using that to get to Doflamingo, and in doing so, like, he had to pick Luffy. You know, he was the toughest out of the bunch that were there. I mean,
There is a lot of proof there because when he ran into Luffy, knowing that he already had his whole plan in motion, he didn't have to go so far with Luffy and joining plans with him. He could have went about his own way or even tried recruiting one of the other pirates because, like you said, it was a lot of big names and Kid's devil fruit's not to be slept on. So Kid definitely could have gotten involved if he, but we also got to remember that the other pirates, they were already making an alliance with
with Kaido.
that's Manapu thing. So that's probably where it plays into a part with the alliance. But there could be more to it because with the D in his name, and he knew to hide the D, even though he had learned it from Kodazong. There could be more to it, like him doing more research into the history and everything. Because Law's not a stupid man. He's a pretty smart man. He makes pretty meticulous moves, and he's been plotting really heavy since a child because he knew what he wanted growing up. Not only getting revenge on Doflamingo, but making a name for himself. So it makes sense. And then you see in the anime and the manga, you see that when Luffy makes these jokes and makes these comments about them being on the crew together and being friends, like he shrugs it off, but he's not like really heavy on it. You know what I mean? So you can see that there's a bond there, and you see there's a form of trust between each other.
For sure.
Like Kid, it's different. Kid is straight smoke. You know what I mean? Luffy fuck with Kid, but Kid don't really fuck with Luffy. You know what I mean? But it's different when it comes to Law. So it makes sense. It does make sense. So I'm not gonna put it out. I'm not gonna put it past. But it's like when you put the pieces together, it's like, would he make a move like that on a gamble, not knowing anything at that time?
Does anyone else want to have a topic that they want to talk about? Something they want to bring up?
Just saying that with Emu thinking that he defeated Luffy, he might try to go and target Gonko, take her out, and with the crew there around Gonko, they could get caught in the crossfire. We don't know if Loki is actually in a fit enough state to where he can actually do anything, or if he hears crying out. I feel like that might trigger something in him pushing a further evolution within Gear 5. I don't know if it's going to be in a new form per se, but it might just be like his hockey being more in tune with his devil fruit and with the soul of Joy Boy, causing him to actually like get stronger and actually push past the limit of his abilities, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, it makes sense. I feel like I don't know how Luffy's,
because we've seen Luffy go through moments like this to where he knows that what he's doing before isn't as strong as what he's doing now. Yeah. So it could be something there, and that's what Oda's at. Well, what he's doing now, these cheap tricks won't work. So it's going to cause him to go and do more. We might actually get to see like a serious Joy Boy Nika version of Gear 5, where he's actually fighting on hard. Because we've seen Joy Boy's hockey farther than what he's been at now. Then that'd be a whole different fight. he taps into a greater strength, it just might overwhelm Emu to where he has no choice but to retire.
Yeah, and then also fucking Emu's already saying that like Luffy he a fraud basically.
Because he's always gotten stronger when it comes down to the moment. It's like with when he was fighting Gear 4 with Katakuri and his tricks wasn't working because Katakuri can see into the future. So he wasn't even able to land the punch on him. So he knew that he had to harness his haki and push farther past his own limits. He was able to develop future sight, which some takes generations to be able to even master something like that. And he was able to do it within that moment. So that just goes to show his level within his haki. So he could push himself only if he puts himself to that. He's probably been relying a little too heavy on his regular Gear 5 that he hasn't thought about actually pushing deeper within it. And this might be the moment where we actually see him push deeper in that moment.
We can't forget that Luffy's an idiot. He's probably not even using like haki in a lot of his attacks. He's like he don't remember what the fuck the Bond just told him. So I mean I did see a few attacks where he was using haki. But still like not every attack was like a haki fucking confused shit. But I mean he got to work on that. He got to work on that for sure. Like Conqueror's haki while in Gear 5 would be what he'll need to defeat. Because I don't think he could use Bajring Gun. Emu's already stated that like being in a bigger form don't help you at all. Like it don't help you here. So it just makes you a bigger target for me. So you do me a favor by making yourself huge. So I don't think Bajring Gun is the answer.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think he uses his haki the way he should be using it. I think lately, at least these past couple of, at least this island and the last island, he's been really relying on his Gear 5 more so like his haki. Like, don't get me wrong, he obviously still uses it and shit, but I don't think he's like really like focusing on his haki as much. Yeah, he unlocked Gear 5 and stuff, so yeah, he should be focusing on that, but I still think he should be focusing like maybe a little more on haki, just because like the whole show, even from the since haki has been introduced, they've always been saying like, oh yeah, haki is the opposite of devil fruits. Like if you have strong enough haki, then no matter the devil fruit, you would like they're the opposites, like how Garp, he didn't have a devil fruit, and he was a dog back in the day. Same with Roger. At least right now, we know that he didn't have a devil fruit, and it didn't look like he had one. They just relied on haki, and they were top tiers. So I think right now, yeah, he still uses it and stuff, but I think he needs to focus more on it, especially that whole the advanced Conqueror's haki, where he can code it like armament, and where it's supposed to be like that top tier haki that like goes against the holy knights and everything, to where they can't heal or anything like that. I think he should be focusing more on haki right now, and I think that's what's going to be saving him, unless like Gear 5, there's like a whole new form that could be coming out, or something completely different from devil fruits and haki, like a third thing, and that's maybe what Emu's using as well. But we just don't know because not even the top tiers could do it, type thing. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think I don't know how he'll incorporate his haki. But the fact is though that nigga dead as of right now. He dead on the stick. Like so
yeah, this
is
the first time we've seen him in Gear 5. We've seen him get hit, but in Gear 5 you just wouldn't have seen nothing like that. Like damn, Luffy couldn't
that nigga
avoid attack like that. And Gear 5 really makes you worried. And he was laid out on that sword too. It wasn't even like he was trying to swerve or nothing. No, he was laid out when he took that hit.
For sure.
Right, yeah, and it shows blood and everything. Like he's passed out, blood everywhere. Like in Gear 5 too, not even his base form.
So, do y'all think that the Holy Knights are strong? Like, I think Shamrock probably the only strongest one, like at all.
I think
that's strong.
I think there's levels to this shit. Like,
for sure.
I think there's levels within the Holy Knights. Similar to how the Marines have levels. Like for example, the vice admirals and then the actual admirals, and then that fleet admiral. I don't know if the last fleet admiral was any powerful, but like how the Marines sort of have levels. I think the Holy Knights are kind of similar. Obviously, their levels are higher because they're Holy Knights. You know, they're supposed to be protecting the Celestials and shit and all that. But I think there's like levels in a way because so far the Holy Knights we've seen, like once they've actually go against someone that like knows how to use hockey and stuff, like for example Zoro and stuff, they're not really all that, to be honest.
Yeah, they was look getting white before Emu pulled up. If it wasn't for Emu giving them more power, they probably wouldn't even be standing a chance like they are right now. So it does go to show they're not on like the five other elders level. Like if the elders were there, it'd be a different story. You know what I mean? I don't think they would have what it takes to withstand their attacks compared to the Holy Knights. So I definitely feel what you're saying about the levels because you can definitely see it in their fighting.
I don't know if even the elders are like, see, because we didn't see nothing.
Yeah,
I
was
can't
listening-
even I can't say that the five elders are strong, and we ain't seen nothing. We ain't seen them do shit. I just think that they have crazy hockey. That's it. Like, but
I don't
other
know
than
if it
that,
wasn't for that hockey night, Egghead would have went differently.
it definitely
Nobody-
would've. It definitely
Even after Bonnie went
No,
Gear
wait, no.
5.
no,
That just,
Luffy was packing them up. He was packing them up.
but it wasn't no stopping them though. They kept
Bro.
coming back.
He sent that nigga bars, 2 bars. Like he sent that nigga out of the fucking off the island, bro. With a combined attack of all of them. And then fucking Bonnie beats up Saturn. Bro, nah.
That's
Yeah,
Nah.
but
that's-
low key, they
right back after.
You right. But that would have given him a
So-
chance to get away.
Hockey does come in to where they're not really using the full extent of their hockey. Because if they were, that attack should have did more damage than what it had done.
yeah, what's it called? No, but and the elders, they just kept on going too. Like I think, and yeah, Luffy, I ain't gonna lie, Luffy was packing them up and shit. But I think the reason why he wasn't able to like finish it was because of again that hockey, the advanced conquerors hockey, the hockey that supposedly like actually hurts the Holy Knights and everything. I think Luffy not don't get me wrong, he more than likely has it. I think he's used it before actually. I'm not sure, but he more than likely has it. It's just him not being able to like use it. I think that's the reason. That's the only reason why the elders were even still there. And if I'm not gonna lie, if Joy Boy's hockey wasn't there, I think they would still got it now, but it would have been more of like an intense escape compared to how it went.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know. I'm always seeing things like that. I don't think that like the elders were just. I just don't think that they were that strong. I don't even think that they can really fight for real. I think the Holy Knights are probably more lethal, right? And I think that the 5 elders are just like intimidating. I don't know. They're just supposed to like just look the part. Cause like I don't know, we ain't seen them like throw no blows or nothing. Like we just seen them
I don't
shoot hockey
know.
around.
When Saturn pulled up, his pure hockey alone was killing people.
I mean,
That's
I know,
like
but
that.
but he wasn't doing that. Like body
Yeah, and
packed him
then-
up. Like he wasn't doing. She 12. She 12. He look.
You
He-
still don't understand the extent of Bonnie's devil fruit, though. So it's like she
did-
might have been doing something in Gear 5 that Luffy probably wasn't even doing himself. The fact that Usopp's made it this far, no power up, is crazy to me. We're 2 years in.
I don't even think he can use hockey. Like
No, he got.
Yeah, we seen that-
observation. He got
we seen that
observation.
glimpse of him using observation, but since then, like he, I don't think he used it like any other time.
True.
was all on Dressrosa, and that was it. Even when he fought
Yeah, like
against Paige, he didn't use.
Man, he took his
he's
one
supposed to
up.
be like he's supposed to be like on par with his dad or something. Like eventually, like
I mean, Shanks
Yeah,
got
they need
a
to show. Yeah, I saw that man. He crazy, man. You seen that one shot blew up the whole ship. You see how far the distance was? Didn't even look like he was sweating. Like I don't know, Usopp. He would have been sweating trying to take a shot like that.
man. Who still got that? You talking about Sniper King?
oh God, we're talking about Sniper King. Like
Come on
Sniper King
now,
got down, God. Like
don't play with his
talking about the
name
Usopp bum. You should be talking about Sniper King.
for real.
So I feel it when the alter ego come out. But
That boy throw that
praying
mask
that
on.
Egghead did the arc, I feel like we're gonna get a little bit more of Usopp's history. I know we've already got Brooks' backstory and everything, but I feel like they're gonna throw something in with Usopp because they did that with Dressrosa with the whole Nolan and everything. I feel like that was a subtle nod to Usopp's lineage and a chance that he could be part Tontada. Because when you see Usopp's mom, she has the same kind of pointy nose as a Tontada. So there's a chance that they could be a mixed race, and we just don't know it.
Possibly.
Yeah, no, yeah. I see. I see this arc as it being kind of one for Usopp right now, just because, like, kind of like right now, obviously not. You know, Emu. You know, he packing shit up. If
Thanks
Sniper
a
King
lot.
was there, it'd be easy slice for Sniper King on God. But like, you know, but like once like Emo leaves and shit like that, which I don't really see how he's gonna leave. Like maybe he like packs everything up, like oh they're all dead now, or he thinks they're all dead and he goes home, something like that. But to be honest, like after Emu and all them leave, they're probably gonna take them kids. I'm not gonna lie, them kids are gone.
That's
Like I'm
crazy.
sorry, like
You gotta pause
as
after
much
that.
as
That was crazy. That was a crazy.
like
So you guys think Emu dies on Elbaf right now? Like by the end of this arc, you think Emu's gonna die?
fuck no.
Okay.
Well,
You say
after
you say Emu
what he,
dying?
Yeah. So like, do you think Emu
um,
is gonna get
uh,
defeated on Elbaf?
I don't think so. I think there's gonna be a restriction with whatever his devil fruit, or if he's using a devil fruit. Like
See,
this just came to mind right now. If this is a devil fruit, or is it like some like third type power other than hockey and devil
bro,
fruits that
it's
like like only
there's
Joy
no
Boy knew
way.
about and shit like that.
There's
You
no
know,
like. Did you? I don't
but
know if y'all peeped in the chapter though. He started walking Luffy down. He put the spear away. He took out the fucking when he takes the sword out. That was like one of the hardest scenes, like captured wise, because he descends from the air, lands. This nigga's walking. He's aura farming, bro. I swear to God, I don't think it's a devil
not
fruit. I think I do think it is his power, but also my reasoning to that is in the Elbaf arc when they introduced Gunko, uh, Oda states that she's an arrow woman, and he also states that she has arrow fruit, and he does the same for all the holy knights that are on Elbaf. I try to look up more examples when he does that, but I couldn't find like a lot of it. But for sure on the Elbaf art, when Gunko's introduced, he does that, but he doesn't do it for you. He says that that's Emu's power is the devil's fruit. So, and I think like
well, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I've told DeCarlo. I don't know if I told you Alberto, but I do have a theory that Emu. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you part of it. I'm not gonna go into the whole shit, but I think Emu is or does believe he is a god or comes from like a god race, right? He also talks about like giving Loki powers of a god, and Loki declines, saying that he like why would he need that? But um, through the way Omen works, we see Omen. The Omen actually has its own personality. like they communicate to each other and they have objective and shit. They're living like inanimate objects that he can also place onto his allies and supercharge them and shit, right? It would make it, to be honest, it would make sense if he could do the same with like a soul. Like if he could take a soul, put it into a devil fruit, or at least like certain ones, right? Like let's say not every, because we already know that there's tiers to the devil fruits. There's Logia, all the basic shit. Logia, Parametheus, I forget what the other one is. Zoan, but then you get mythical Zoan. There is no mythical like Parametheus, or at least I don't know. I don't know. I ain't never heard of no shit like that. Blackbeard's devil fruit is a Logia type devil fruit, but is his shit a mythical? The Yami is a mythical one, right? His first devil fruit. Pretty sure that one's a mythical zone.
I don't know if it ever said it was a mythical zone or like that, or that it was that it was a mythical. But I know it's a different type of Logia compared to the other ones. It was like stated and everything like, oh, it's like it's a Logia, but it's not really a Logia.
Yeah, like you guys know what a deity is, right? Like somebody that would, I'm assuming it would protect the land. It's like a god or somebody that like looks over a land, right? They're like protectors of it. And people like pray to them and shit like that. A god would essentially be the same shit. If these were living people, like Nika was a living person at one point, he's also named after his devil fruit. But it's the same thing for Toki. Like the Toki Toki no Mi is named after Toki, who comes from 800 years from the same time period the Joy Boy comes from. So it low key kind of makes sense. I don't know. Do y'all think devil fruits come from people first, or do you think that this, like Vegapunk says, like most devil fruits are wished upon for human evolution?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think they come from, I don't know about a wish, but like, kind of similar to a wish, kind of like a human's like imagination slash wish.
Like
Like, like if enough people, I think it's one of those like if enough people believe in something, then it'll like kind of create a devil fruit. Like for example, the slaves, they believed, they started to believe that whole like, oh yeah, the Nika god will come down and free us from these chains. And because like so many of them believed it, it created the Nika fruit. And because of like of its origin of like, the slaves and how they wanted someone like how they like expected Nika to be pure of heart and everything, to be able to free them and break the chains and everything, then the fruit also like had a mind of its own, and that's why it chooses who eats it and not the other way around. Like it chooses who gets to eat it and everything. And well, eventually, obviously, like Joy Boy, whoever had the Nika fruit first, or if Nika was just a person that got turned into a devil fruit eventually, whatever, like freed the slaves. I think that's how devil fruits like come about. Like the simple ones, like the lava one and stuff like that. Is like stuff like that is probably just like, oh, there's lava. Imagine a lava fruit or something like that. And like enough people like eventually started believing it. Obviously, after seeing so much lava and stuff like that. But I think that's how devil fruits came to pass. Like people just like a certain amount of people have to believe like in this for it to happen. And that's how I think devil fruits came to be.
For sure. I definitely think it's like both. I don't know. For some reason, I think it's both. I think people do like wish upon like, I don't know, change or something, and however that happens, I don't know. They could have wished for Like the dude with the from CP0 or CP9 or whatever. The dude, the door fruit. Like slave could have wished for a fucking door.
I don't know if it.
yo, that's
That's what I was thinking. Though. I'm like, there's a devil fruits, and it's like, who wished for this? You know,
there
like,
is a lot of devil fruits. That's crazy.
devil fruits that make you like wonder, like, who would want to be a candle? You know, who wants to wax? You know what I mean? Why would you want? I don't know. And then the mochi fruit, it's like that's a crazy one. I mean,
he could just
had a curry make. It's like if anybody else would have had it without hockey, would it really have hit the same? You know what I mean? Like,
bro,
I don't know. I feel like
sugar. If anybody else had sugar's fruit, bro, this is unfortunate. She's like fucking 5 or however old she is. But like, if anybody else had sugar's fruit, oh my god, bro, it would be over with.
Yeah, they'd have been over.
What?
Yeah, no.
What?
Like, that's a
I think some
That's
of them
crazy.
were like, oh, if this is how really devil fruits like came to pass, and be like, oh, what the fuck were they thinking?
Nah,
But I think like, you know, there's like those big fruits, like for example, Luffy's. That's a little believable, you know, like the whole slaves. You know, there were that many slaves.
yeah.
Obviously, you know, like the stupid ones, like the fucking door. That one's like, I think
Door fruits.
I think there would have to be two different ways for fruits to come to pass. Like one of them being like, oh yeah, this is something in the world, so it'll like turn into a fruit. Like I think, like, but using that logic, I think like every single thing would have to have a devil fruit. Like for example, a wall fruit, or like a
I mean, we got the jacket
yeah.
fruit. Came out that one turned into a jacket. And then you got the flag fruit.
Wait.
Yeah, and who knows? There easily could be. There easily could be those type of fruits, and we haven't seen them because like
I forgot about that.
Like how the fuck you gonna be like, yeah, this is a jacket fruit? Like you turn yourself into a jacket, you know, ultimate disguise. Like
just put me on, bro.
They put me on, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, that jacket fruit was fire because if you think about it, if Luffy was to put him on, what would happen?
Nothing.
Right now, a damn thing. Like, I mean, you probably look fly as fuck, you know, in Gear 5. You know, Jacket gonna like, you know, combine with his fruit type shit, but yeah.
Hey, think about that. What is the limitation to his ability? But all I was gonna say was I feel like we're seeing two different type of like devil fruits because we know from the Harley and Elbath, we know that devil fruits came to be from I think it was like the second world. So we know that they were created, and then that the I forgot which god it was shunned them, so that's why they drowned in the ocean. I feel like some devil fruits were created by one person, and I feel like certain devil fruits was created by the original holder. I feel like devil fruits, not all devil fruits, but I feel like Luffy's devil fruit, since it's named after Nika, it's named after the sun god. I feel like Nika made his devil fruit. Like he imbued his soul into the devil fruit, knowing because he wrote on one of the poneglyphs that he was sorry that he couldn't keep his promise. So he knew that his time was coming, but he also made another promise that he was going to come back. That's why everybody hoped and prayed for Nika. The Nika promised that he was return someday, and that's why Toki stayed alive for all those years because he was waiting for Joy Boy to return. He knew that Joy Boy would return someday, and with like her fruit as well, we still are yet to see her fruit. So what if she never like made her fruit? And especially like with Elbath, we know that there's a higher level on Elbath, but we don't know what it is per se. We just know it's called the Land of the Gods, and it's also speculated that Nika was a giant and that he also hailed from Elbath. So what if 800 years ago people really were gods or perceived as gods because of the abilities that they held and stuff? And that's where the whole thing with the imagination, people making wishes and wanting to have this ability and that ability. So somebody took all of those to make more devil fruits. But like certain abilities weren't made into devil fruits. It took like the holder itself to actually turn their abilities into a fruit. And it makes sense on like why Inu couldn't turn Loki and Luffy with Dami Reversi. Because that was like one of the first times we've seen him not successfully turn somebody. I mean, we haven't seen him really Dami Reversi besides like the Giants and stuff. But even so, like to see that, it makes you like ask the question of why he couldn't Dami Reversi Luffy and Loki.
Yeah, no,
So that's where I'm like,
I brought that up to my brother. We were talking, and I asked him. So I told him there's two ways that people can get Dami reversed. One is through Emu's that we've seen is through Emu's shadow, and then the other way was through flesh. And I asked him, I was like, "Do you think like Emu could chop like because it didn't work like his first attempt didn't work trying to just pierce the both of them. What if like it has to be a deeper like contract type shit like but also that was Gunko that was doing it. We don't know if she was possessed by Emu or not at that time. But when Gunko did it, she chopped Dory's arm off and then he got flipped. And then we also see when he gets flipped back, he had to die to get flipped back. They both chopped each other's heads off, and they both came back to life. But it doesn't mean that neither one of them could not be Dami. I just feel like it didn't work through piercing because of the devil fruit like inhabiting their soul. I think if she were to like take flesh, then yeah, it could possibly could work.
I ain't gonna lie, man, that'd be scary. You gotta remember, Emu just pierced Luffy.
No, and then no. Okay, so I just thought about something too. People were when Joy Boy was first shown on Egghead in the flashback that Emmett has. People like I'm pretty sure you told me about this, DeCarlo. You said that Joy Boy had a peg leg.
Yeah, they say
he did.
They say he also has a robotic arm.
Bro, I'm saying Ibu could get both of them. What? She already.
I don't know.
What? Come on, bro. She gonna take both his arm and his leg. Did boom. Now Joy Boy is literally Luffy from the past. And did Luffy beats Toki? Bro, I'm telling you. Luffy beats Toki, then Toki jumps him back into the future or back into the past. And then Luffy's the original. Oh, I'm telling you, that's Dammy Goes. I'm reaching.
Fire. It line up with like the story and everything, especially with the whole all return and stuff. But that'd be crazy. Like that would be crazy.
That's a reach. I'm reaching.
So you guys believe that whole like, oh yeah, Joy Boy is Luffy from
I don't believe it.
Like is now, but he goes into the past, somehow in the whole big war fight or whatever that's supposed to take place on Mary Joey. Like it's supposed to be like this whole huge fight, like some like all the pirates versus like the Holy Knights and the Marines and shit.
I don't believe it. I don't think that Luffy is Joy Boy. But I mean, the only thing that I can say is that Toki's fruit hasn't remanifested, so that I don't know. At least we haven't seen it.
It's like a lot of pieces, so like it's not that it doesn't make sense. It's just like it's like there's pieces that add to it, and then there's pieces that take away from it at the same time. Because it's like when it comes to Emmett, Joy Boy told Emmett to save the hockey knot, so it's like he plotted ahead. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know if Joy Boy can see to the future, but it's like he's been making a lot of meticulous. Well, so it's like it makes you wonder, like, how did he know? And for the knot to go unused all this time.
Okay, no,
crazy.
Okay. So I have another theory that it's not my theory, but I just remembered it. And it has to deal with Gunko. So I had seen a theory saying off the last like few chapters during the Brook flashback, Brook sees Gunko's dad apparently. I'm not saying that's Gunko's dad. I don't believe that's her dad because the way that he talks about her. But he points out that he has the same eyes. He has the same bipolar irises that Gunko has, and the dude goes on to state how like Gunko has a special ability. Like if it didn't awaken to me, it could awaken in her. People were saying that that special ability could be to see the future. So they say how the Harley has it has the three worlds mapped out. If it ends with people meeting, apparently, right? They shall meet again. I don't know. But if Emu can change the future through Gunko, like any action that Emu takes, Gunko will be able to see if it alters. So essentially, like he could just keep taking people out, knocking people off, or whatever, and he will be in control of his own fate, essentially. Because if he's supposed to die and he can prevent that, then I mean, you would do the same. You would do the same. Do y'all think
I
she can
mean,
see the future?
it would make sense because it helped add a lot of pieces that like we're not understanding. Like with their race, then it makes sense how Joy Boy was able to make these plans and make these pony glyphs and everything because he knew what he was making it for because he's seen in the future. He knew that his win wasn't inevitable. He knew that his loss was inevitable. So he knew that he had to plot ahead in the future in a point to where he would have the highest chance of victory. So it makes sense. I could definitely see it.
For sure, for sure. What do you think, Alberto? You think Gunko can see the future through her bipolar irises?
Mm, I think it's like glimpses. It's not like honed where it's like, oh yeah, scene for scene,
Yeah.
but like silhouettes type thing. Like can see silhouettes, so not exactly
Like things she can
who it is, but
confirm.
like a generalization of the like specific scene or part or something like that, you know? Like for example, like how Joy Boy was shown in the past with the robot. If we didn't know about the robot, we would be like, okay, who's this random silhouette and who's this the robot would obviously be a silhouette too, but like, oh, who's this? We would assume a giant because we wouldn't know anything about it. So I think it's something like that.
Yeah. I have
Yeah, and it add up a lot of pieces, and then it makes sense on like why Emu's taking the steps that he's taking now because it's like throughout Luffy's development, you know what I mean. Luffy wasn't perceived as a threat by Emu per se. You know what I mean. It wasn't until later and later down the line to where they start realizing, and then that would make sense on how Gonko was seeing these pieces. Like, hold on, Luffy's becoming this and that, and then that would make sense on Wano why CP0 was given the mission of killing Luffy at all costs.
Yeah.
Because they knew this fight could awaken Gear, so trying to prevent the future from coming into fruition. That makes sense. Seeing everything, then yeah, the robot probably would have been the first thing taken out on Egghead if she could see like that because they would know. You know what I mean? So it makes sense on seeing these little pieces, and that's probably why all 5 elders were on that island because they knew they needed the best chance of actually stopping everything from coming to pass.
It does seem kind of weird how fate works for Luffy, but it would also be interesting if Emu was also in control of that too, because they're both on opposite ends. If fate just works for Luffy, but everything that Emu is trying to prevent works for Luffy anyway, then you know, like what is she doing? What is he doing? I don't know, but I have one more thing. I don't know if anybody else has anything else they want to bring up.
I mean, I wish I would have wrote this stuff down. You know, I was just thinking about like,
I know it's kind of last minute. It was just that new chapter came out, bro, and Like I've had the eternal life theory for a little bit, but if Luffy gets up and he just hockey blast when he gets, bro, I'm gonna be so right. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be right. I'll be right as fuck.
I mean, got to be something to it, so that does make sense. Like, what could it really be? He's taking some shit like that and just brushing it off. But I really just wanted to ask how you guys feel about like Luffy and Blackbeard. You know what I mean? I feel like with the way the narrative's been painted, a lot of people see like a lot of animosity between them and feel like those guys are on like opposite sides of the coin and they're like not really heading towards the same goal. Inevitably, their battle's going to come into fruition and they're going to be more so going against each other than going with each other when it comes down to really who the big bad is, who we see now is Emu. My opinion, I feel like these two are like the two pieces that could be to actually stopping Emu. Because we were talking about like with Blackbeard and the way his plan is, the way he's making these moves. So I feel like it's got to be like a bigger picture because Rocks knew that his plan wasn't going to work. He knew that he didn't have all the pieces. So it makes you wonder, one, if Blackbeard's getting his plan from Rocks, and two, what were those pieces? Could Joy Boy have been a part of the pieces? You know what I mean? Because Rocks did a lot of planning and a lot of deep diving into history, especially to get all the way to Mary Joie and get into the Sacred Room and actually meeting him. So he's been like really like plotting a lot and knowing how things were going to go down. I don't know if he could have put into like a fail safe or if, like we were saying earlier today, Blackbeard could hear the voice of all things and he's actually getting guided by his father.
Which,
so I just feel like in my head, they're going to play a yin and yang type of thing because it's kind of coincidental how Blackbeard is all black and Luffy has this all white form. You know, when it comes to like the symbol of peace, you can't have light without darkness.
Yeah, I don't think it's like Blackbeard and Luffy like yeah, don't get me wrong, you know, Blackbeard was the one that gave up Ace to the Marines, and only reason why Ace was even there to get killed in the first place. Like, that could be a whole reason why Luffy would want to fight Blackbeard or whatever. But after that whole flashback showing like Rocks and how he went into the flower room and everything and told Emu like, oh yeah, I'll be back. So you better like watch yourself. I'll be back. After that and showing that Rocks like wasn't really all that much of a bad guy. But like assuming that Blackbeard like holds this grudge against Emu, he knows about Emu and everything, and he like that's the whole reason why he's like he got Whitebeard's devil fruit because to him it was the most powerful at the time. So he was like, okay, yeah, I have the dark fruit, which is presumably what's letting him have more than one devil fruit. So let me get Whitebeard's fruit because right now it's the strongest one. And he thought of all that. So like, I don't know if he has that grudge against Emu right now, but assuming he does, I like see him and Luffy. I don't know about teaming up. Like, you know, they meet up beforehand. They both attack Mary Joie or anything like that. But I think like it'll be something like the Revolutionary Army is going to be right there with Luffy. Like Luffy, you know, finally gets to talk to his dad, blah, blah, blah. And they like plan to attack Mary Joie because Luffy obviously found out about Emu. His dad, I'm not sure if he knew about Emu until Sabo told him about him. Because I know Sabo obviously saw him and stuff. So I'm not really sure if his dad knew about Emu yet. But, you know, after Sabo telling him, like, I think after both of them finding out about Emu, I think, like, you know, like eventually they're going to cross paths and they'll be like, okay, this guy, like he's the big bad, he has slaves, whole thing. He's the reason why this, blah, blah, whatever. I think they're gonna attack Mary Julie, and Blackbeard obviously like hears about these plans in some way and meets them there. And it was like, oh, if they're gonna attack them, then Emu will be too preoccupied to worry about me. On some like
You
sneaky,
said what?
like deceitful type shit, like how he's been like the entire series. Pretty much like, oh, Emu's gonna be worried about them, so he won't see me like coming up to attack him and stuff. So I think Luffy and Blackbeard are both gonna show up, and I think they'll be more worried about trying to defeat Emu than the whole grudge they have against each other, which I think only Luffy has a grudge against Blackbeard. I don't know about it being like Blackbeard not liking Luffy, but I think like them worrying about Emu is gonna like be more important than themselves.
I have I have two things. So one, I've told Alberto this because we talked about this same conversation already before. I think Luffy could put aside the whole Blackbeard turning an ace. I just I don't think it's smoke. I don't think it's smoke between the two of them. I think at the end of it all, like Luffy, Ace dying helped Luffy progress. Like, and I think I don't know. I think the only way that they align, obviously, is if Emu is not defeated on Elbaf. So Emu still has to like make it back to Mary Jo. But I think if she does, or if he does, Blackbeard would already be there. I don't want it. I don't want that to be the case. I think because with Emu vacated, like realistically, Blackbeard could probably knock everybody off. He don't need no hockey. He just sink the whole island. Fuck you.
Why else did he really need Whitebeard's devil fruit? Like
He just
it's starting to add up when you think. You know what I mean? He needs an earthquake fruit. Like, of course, you know what I mean? His whole goal, from what we've seen so far, is taking out the red line. So it makes sense. But
yeah,
if that don't
Earthquake
happen-
Fruit, Red Lion being like big as hell. Like, oh yeah, Earthquake would go really good with this because how high up it is. Like, destroy all the flooring, everybody goes
Black
down. Deceitful shit they won't worry about
But
fighting me as much.
I think so yeah, if Emu would have to not get defeated on Elbaf, but I'd rather it be a fight between Blackbeard and Luffy. Like as a final fight. As a final fight. I'd rather see Blackbeard versus Luffy. I even think what will happen is it'll be Blackbeard versus it'll be like a Yonko free for all, right? But Blackbeard is gonna run into Shanks first. And then he gonna piece up Shanks. He gonna capture him everything. He gonna no, I'm not reaching.
No, see, I told Malik about this, bro. He talked to me about this, bro.
I'm not reaching. I'm not reaching. I'm not reaching.
Nah, because
hear me
right
out.
now,
Hear me out. And this bro, wait.
lying.
This is the way that
Shanks
Luffy.
did. The only person that's been able to scar him was Blackbeard.
I'm saying,
That's what.
but also,
yeah, but that was.
it was when he was younger, but still like.
I'm gonna let Malik talk.
So I think all right, so Blackbeard's already 1-0. All right. But also fuck. It'll be a condition, right? So I think this will be the ultimate test for Luffy to become King of the Pirates. He won't become King of the Pirates after defeating Emu. It'll be after saving Shanks, which is his mentor, person he looks up to, proving to Shanks that he is a worthy pirate, defeating his nemesis who got his brother killed, and then capturing the One Piece that was always meant for him. So I think that's how it will go. But I think Emu will get defeated either on Elbaf or Emu gets defeated by Blackbeard.
I don't think Emu gonna be defeated on Elbaf just because like right now, just there's nobody on Elbaf that could do it. Like,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, that was the other thing.
Luffy and Loki, them teaming up. That was probably the best chance they had. If they had Roger's left hand man in there too, then okay,
we've been talking
that
about
would have
that. We've been talking about that shit for months.
Yeah.
Like when Luffy and Loki get together, is up. No, they got packed up. They literally.
Like Luffy and Loki, it was presumably the best matchup against Emu on Elbaf right now. Like, okay, yeah, if you count Roger's third hand man going in there, then okay, better chance. But after seeing Luffy get packed up, I'm sorry, but it's just like it's easy. It's green for Emu with like everybody else on Elbaf. I don't think he's gonna get defeated on Elbaf. I think I don't think he's gonna go and proceed to try to kill every single person on Luffy's crew and all the other giants. No, but I do think that they're gonna lose. I think that the giant children, they're gonna get taken away. Giants are gonna be defeated along with Luffy's crew. Like, as much as I don't see Zoro losing, he's gonna get packed up.
See,
he's gonna get packed up. Like,
I wouldn't reach it.
I don't think Elbaf.
I wouldn't reach it with Blackbeard. You reach it. I don't think everybody get packed up. Zoro, my dog. Oh no!
Like, bro, you really Luffy just got packed up, and yeah, okay. Let's say Zoro and Luffy are on par with each other right now, which I don't think so. Just because Luffy's whole weakness against blades and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But
I've always said this. Going into battles, Zoro takes the toughest opponent. He always does. Even when they were fighting Kaido, Zoro was the only motherfucker to land a hit. And all three of them was up there. Law, Kid, and Luffy, all three of them was up there. Zoro was the only one to do damage first. And he didn't even Kaido wasn't even he wasn't even thinking about him. But Zoro was the only person there. A speck amongst all these not Yonkos, but top tier pirates. He's not even considered a top tier pirate.
Yeah,
on the crew, but I don't think. I mean, his bounty is fucking crazy. His bounty's fucking crazy, but
that's what
I'm saying.
Right, yeah, I don't.
Okay, so Zoro go hit him with some King of Hell Onigiri type shit, hockey slash from miles away, and then the Emu gonna get hit. The Emu gonna be like, damn, now I really gotta leave. And like I said, he gonna go try to get his power back from Gunko, just so that he can escape, and then he gonna kill Brook. Taking the power from Brook, and then he gonna consume Brook's power, and then Brook gonna die.
All right, so I don't think so. Let's just assume that Emu won't proceed to start packing everybody up on Elbaf for them to take the kids or whatever the hell. So the only way I don't see that happening is because Zoro is just Zoro's not near where Luffy is right now. I'm pretty sure. They're in a whole different area. So Emu sees oh yeah, they'll be fine. They're gonna take the kids. There's nothing in the way that needs to get done. So I can go home. So I don't think Emu gonna go against Zoro. Just because they're not right next to each other, you know what I mean? So, and Zoro, after defeating Loki and Luffy, presumably the two strongest at the time, not counting Roger's left hand man, just because I think he's Loki kind of up there right now, just because he has advanced Conqueror's hockey and shit. But not counting him, I think Emu's gonna if Emu doesn't proceed, just go pack everybody up and tell His Holiness to go home with the kids. I think he's gonna be okay, yeah. He's gonna assume Loki and Luffy were presumably the two strongest on Elbaf. My Holy Knights should be able to handle the rest enough to take the kids. That being the whole reason why they're there.
Yeah.
No, that is true because we got Emu only pulled up after Luffy and Loki teamed up. That's when Emu knew that he had to pull up. So it makes sense that he, after defeating Luffy, Loki. I mean, shit, he's talking, but he's low key down for the count too. Makes sense where he just look around. He's like, okay, everything's done here. Holy Knight should be able to get the rest. He might do something though, like what you were saying with Brook and stuff, because like we've seen previous, whenever someone disobeys Emu, they usually get a severe punishment, like what happened with Saturn. So there's a chance we might kill Gonko, or at least try to take Gonko. And Brook's not letting that happen. So who knows what might happen if Emu ends up taking Brook with him, or if Brook might be the last person he has to catch a body before he leaves. I could definitely see something like that happening because Gonko was disobeying Emu's orders when Emu was in her head. So I feel like that's a really big punishment when it comes to like Emu, especially after seeing on Egghead he had specific orders not to lose, and he lost. And what happened after he lost? Drained the life right out of him. So if we don't see that on Elbath, then I feel like we're gonna see something like that. So where it's like Gonko is like probably the next target after everything that's happened with Luffy and Loki.
True.
But I do think that he's just gonna take off. Like while Holy Knights are here, none of these guys can stand a chance against them. You know what I mean? Just take off. Like I'm gonna leave the rest to them.
For sure. All right.
Like that makes sense. I didn't think of it like that. Actually makes a lot of sense. What else would Loki really need to do? Like just wipe everybody out on the island? It's a waste of time.
Yeah, it really is just a waste of time. Especially if he like
he would have to get his power back though. Like let's say like Emu could transfer devil fruit powers. He would have to get the Nika fruit back. He'd have to get at least seize control, because getting the giant kids and then getting the Needhogger fruit, bro, like that would be his ideal plan. I think after defeating them, he might have to like. I mean, Gonko already right there next to Loki. He pull up like, give me your shit, nigga. Like, stole that shit. That's what I do. Like for real though. That's probably what he would.
Yeah,
do.
but